There are almost 8 billion people on this planet that we call home. 4,000 different cultures and almost 7,000 spoken languages. Our differences seem to stand out so clearly in our speech, the color of our skin, and how we live our lives. But when you strip that all away, we are left with one thing largely in common: our humanity. All human life begins and ultimately comes to the same ending, prompting us at some point through our lives to ask the question of what happens to us. Us living, breathing, doing, seeking creative, beautiful humans when our final day on Earth arrives. Ultimately, this question remains: is there something more?
It's a good question. Sometimes I struggle thinking if heaven and hell are real. I want to have faith, and I try my best to keep faith. But at the same time, sometimes I think there's just nothing.
Honestly, I don't think about it very much. That's the question I can answer the least. I don't know.
Go to heaven. I hope so. Most likely I'll have a talk with God. See whether or not I will get to heaven, or maybe down there, hopefully not.
I don't think it's what people think it is, though. But then again, I can't really tell you. But I don't think they're like places, more so like states of mind almost.
I don't know, and to be totally honest with you, I'm not really in a rush to find out.
It's not that I don't know. I don't really think about what happens after I die. So it doesn't really make me feel any kind of way.
At one point in my life, it really was a troublesome thing for me. I wouldn't say I don't think about it, because I do. I think about it quite often. But I'll figure it out when we get there. It's just, if it's heaven, then I go to it in open arms. And if it's empty void of nothingness, then, well, I won't be around to really care about it, I suppose.
If you look forward to something after death, it makes you want to be a better person while you're here.
The better you do, the more humble you are, the better you are to people, the more it affects you, and the more you're planning for the life after.
I believe there is something out there after death, maybe a God, a heaven, or damnation, but otherwise, that's still an answer I'm looking for.
So why are there so many different answers? Our human nature urges us to find an explanation, either through religion, our own reasoning, or simply through ignorance. But can 8 billion different answers to the same question all be true? Or does allowing relative truth completely invalidate the purpose of having truth at all? What if the culmination of our lives, the good, the bad, the successes, the failures, the relationships, heartaches, and the joys all just came to a full stop and led simply to nothing? What if there was an answer, one solid truth, an answer that takes the pressure off the good that you do, an answer that will not leave you wondering or unsure, an answer that is offered free to anyone who will accept it, not bound by color, location, or customs, an answer that will ultimately provide you with a purpose on earth and a destination that is far greater than the life we are currently living?
There was this hope that I could place something in. There's always just been this pain and difficulty in my life, but in following Jesus, I see that has a point, it has a purpose.
We no longer have to work for God. Jesus did the work for us and literally bled and died on the cross so that we could come to God and be free in that. If I don't live life perfectly, and if I make a mistake, it's okay. When he was on the cross, he not only took away and felt all aspects of my sin, but he also felt all aspects of my shame. And he bore that and took it away from me so that I don't have to feel it on my own. When I die, when my earthly body is decayed and done with being with the world, my soul goes to live on with Jesus. So my soul is living with Jesus now, and then when I die, I'm going to be able to be fully in God's presence and fully live with him in eternity.
Kind of once I'd realized that, I found that there was a hope for my life. There was joy to be found, that even when I didn't have people, I had this creator that loved me so deeply.
I know at the end of the day that there's something much greater than just me on this earth having problems and even days where I don't want to go on, I don't feel like my life has a purpose. Some days I know that in the grand scheme of things, I have a hope, and that that is literally Jesus, and we have free access to him.
What I found in Jesus was life, more than that, a purpose, and so after knowing what God's done for me,
it's motivated me that I want to spend the rest of my life being to share this truth with others.